Vinroy!
Vinroy, hello.
He has not said it.
I know.
I'm Levi, Brady, Brandon,
Nerdish. It's the three of us.
all of us together.
Together?
Nerdish.
Yeah. Today, I will be going over what Levi has decided to call picture problems. Or maybe Brady decided.
Nope.
I was just not there, so I
Don't
was
le-
confused
no,
at
no,
first
no,
as
it
well.
was me.
Nothing to do with this.
Vinroy.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It's not Vinroy.
We'll go ahead and get into those in a minute. Levi, what are you covering?
Dude, I don't know. Don't ask me that.
You don't know what you're covering?
Modifiers
Oh,
and
yes.
something.
Non-essentials and misplaced modifiers, which
There you
are
go.
non-essentials, but
Yes.
more context-related.
Great. For those of you if you don't know, the giveaway tonight is going to be different. This is going to be for a free two free 1 hour tutoring sessions.
Mm-hmm. We're getting to the big leagues, guys. This is tutoring.
This is in Bush League.
Not that
Not that other
essay
garbage.
counseling isn't the big league as well, but this is the double big league.
Yep. All right. I'll
You
go
want us to
ahead and
leave?
jump into it. Yeah. And
Oh, I
need
never
you to
clicked
pull up
streaming,
the-
actually. Was I supposed to?
Yeah, you did.
Bummer.
All right.
I thought I'd get him, but
No,
I
it's
didn't
right
get
there.
him.
You can
It
see it's right
shows.
there.
I thought I
Can
was
you
gonna
set
get
up
him.
the ACT for me, Levi?
Yeah, huh?
Us non-essentials are gonna get out of here. Haha, jokes.
That was a laugh. Hey, I Crush Dreams. Good to see you. It's a weird color, isn't it?
It's lagging.
I can actually get it from here. All right. Picture problems. What do we mean? What does Levi mean? You'd think he means these. I don't think he does. He wants Levi, correct? Not these. You
Yeah,
mean
not
the
those.
ones? Those, yeah?
Not those.
This one.
That's what
All right. Took the SAT last weekend, so I'm just popping in to say, hey, bye now. Well, hey, thanks for stopping in. I Crush Dreams. All right. Hopefully the quality of video is a little better this time for those of you who are regulars. We've been doing some stuff on the tech side. This is what we mean when we talk about picture problems. They tend to be fairly common on the ACT, probably a couple of these each test. The SAT, not quite as often, not quite as much. But still, everything we're going to go over is going to be useful for both tests. All right. Gianna is converting a 12-foot by 15-foot room in her house to a craft room. Thanks, Brady. Gianna will install tile herself, but will have CC Installations build and install the cabinets. The scale drawing shown below displays the location of the cabinets in the craft room, where 0.25 inches is 2 feet. I'm going to go ahead and write that down because that seems important. All right, we have 0.25 inches equals 2 feet. Great. Now, let's read the rest of this. We have the drawing here. They give us the dimensions. They show us where the window is, where the door is, where the cabinets are. Cabinets will be installed along one of the 12-foot walls from floor to ceiling, and 4 cabinets that are each 3 foot tall will be installed in the middle of the room. These are the only cabinets that will be installed, and each of them will be 2 feet wide and 2 feet deep. CC Installations has given Gianna an estimate of $2,150 for building and installing the cabinets. Great. Keep doing that incorrectly. All right. Now, this almost fits here. We have for question 33, a 15-foot wall is how many inches long in the scale drawing? Well, we have that a quarter of an inch is 2 feet, which means a 15-foot wall is going to be how many inches? We have 0.25 over 2 is going to equal something over 15, right? Because we have the top being the scale in inches, so we have inches here. We have the bottom being the feet. All right? We simply plug this in, plug and play, if you will. You're going to get... Brady, do you have a calculator on you? Because I don't have my phone.
I have my phone. What would you like me to do?
15 divided by 2 times 2.5. Thank you, Fortlight. I appreciate you. Meaning our answer is B, as long as Fortlight can type in what I can't. Good. Moving on. I'm going to go ahead and erase this. If you have questions on that, let me know. It was a fairly straightforward proportion problem. If you don't know why I did any of that, let me know and I will explain that. Gianna will install tile on the portion of the floor that will not be covered by cabinets. What is the area in square feet of the portion of the floor that will not be covered by the cabinets? All right, let's look at this. whoops, we have cabinets here and cabinets here. Now, I know that this is 2 feet here, meaning I can actually, what we might call a shortcut or recognizing this here, I can take this 15 by 12 and actually make it 13 by 12 and just ignore that amount here. So I'm subtracting it now instead of subtracting it later. Right? I could go and find, what we want to do here is find the area of the entire thing, right? This entire large room, and subtract the area of all the cabinets, including this little brick here and then the box of cabinets, okay? What I'm going to do is subtract this beforehand so I don't have to actually solve for the area of that, and just get the area of this big square and then the small square. Now, where most of my students go wrong on this problem is they forget how many cabinets there are here. They just see cabinets. Oh, a cabinet is 2 feet by 2 feet. They plug that in. They say, okay, I have 13 by 12. That's going to be 157. You guys want to double check me on that?
Give me the numbers.
Oh, it can't be. 156 maybe? Nah, I want to do 12 by 12 and then add. I did it wrong. 12 and 13. So we have the large area. Brady? 12 times 13?
12 times 13. 156.
I would say it was 156. Okay, cool. And then we have the area of the small one, which is just going to be this group of cabinets here. And my students tend to say, okay, well, it's a cabinet is 2 feet by 2 feet, so it's going to be 4. That is wrong. The area of the smaller side, or the smaller square here, is 2 times 2 for each cabinet. And what we don't realize, or maybe that you didn't realize if you read this, is that there are 4 cabinets right here. 4 cabinets. I just crossed it off. I meant to circle it. Great. There are 4 cabinets in that little square, meaning we have 4 times this area, meaning it's 16. What we're left with is the difference, which is 140 feet. Is that what it's asking, or is it asking it in inches? It is asking in square feet. Okay, so our answer would be H. Great. It's almost like I did that on purpose. I didn't, but that's perfect spacing there. If you're watching, I hope you're impressed. All right, last question here. CC installation. I don't know what HDUK is. It's 2 by 2. Yes, each cabinet is 2 by 2, Fort Light. It says down here that we have 2 feet wide and 2 feet deep for the cabinets, right? And up here it says we have 4 cabinets that are each 3 foot tall, which we don't care how tall they are, which are installed in the middle of the area. Great. Middle of the room. Okay. The last question we have, the installations or CC installations estimate consists of a $650 charge. Absolutely. For labor plus a fixed charge per cabinet. The above charge, the labor charge and the charge per cabinet remain the same for any number of cabinets built and installed. CC installations would give Gianna what estimate if the craft room were to have twice as many cabinets as Gianna is planning to have. All right, let's look at the top here. We know that they're asking currently, I'm going to write this over here so I have some more space, $2,150. All right, and we have how many cabinets? Actually, I don't know if we care. We know that we have some number of cabinets, right? Now it says that the labor is going to be $650. So to find out the cost of all the cabinets we have now, I want to go ahead and subtract the $650 just for labor. So this is the total. This is labor. And we're going to end up with the price of the cabinets. All right. That's going to be $1,500. Hopefully that makes sense. Hey, Slayer Darth, it's been a while. Oh, sorry, Exec, I missed you and Marshy. Wow, guys, I've been bad. I just saw Exec give me the, or Fort Light give me the number I was really needing earlier. I haven't said, hey, good to see you guys. If you have any questions, let us know. We can add them to the question queue. All right. And also, let me know if this doesn't make sense. We know the total price. They tell us down here. They tell us that labor is $650. Meaning, we know because of that, we can solve for the price of the cabinets. My shorts aren't even weird tonight, guys. Okay. Now we say if we doubled the number of cabinets, what would the price or what would the estimate be that she would be charged? Well, I know labor is going to stay $650. I'm doubling the cabinets, so I'm going to double this to get $3,000. And I'm going to add that, right? So 3,000. And I'm going to add the labor to that. Meaning I should get $3,650. And that looks like option D. That should be your answer. Great. There's one more of these I want to go over that was, if I remember right, maybe it was earlier. Yeah, this one's really gnarly I want to go over. Yes, the ACTE option. I think we explained a little bit yesterday why we think the SAT chose to do that, chose to have 5 answer options, right? They are way more straightforward in how they ask the question. There's not as many, or there aren't questions like there are on the SAT where they'll say, hey, solve this thing for X and Y, and then they'll say, what's the difference of X and Y, right? The SAT does that a lot where they will have you go and do the difficult part of the equation and then at the end say, multiply it by 2, right? Or something like that where maybe you add the 2 variables, meaning you can't just plug and chug on those problems, right? I think the ACT, a possible reason they do this is so that they have a 5th option here, is so that they can't, or it gives you, it de-incentivizes you, right? There's an incentive not to plug and chug, right? Because it's going to take you that much more time per problem that you try to plug and chug. All right, this one is similar. There's one I really want to go over more than any of the others because it's quite difficult, and I want to show you a way to do it. But right here we have trapezoid ABCD is graphed in the standard XY coordinate plane below. Great. What is the slope of CD? Right? I'm not going to go ahead and do this, but I will show you the equation for a slope is all you're going to need here, right? You have 2 points, and you're going to say y1 minus y2. So I'm going to say 4 minus 1 over 9 minus 12. Right? Okay, it's 3 over negative 3, negative 1. All right, pretty straightforward. That one's simple. Now, the one that's more difficult here, I'm actually going to skip 40. It says, which of the following vertical lines cuts ABCD into 2 trapezoids with equal area? It'd be better if I could show you this all at the same time. But we want a vertical line, right? Something that's going to cut this in half. So it's going to be something where the areas of the 2 trapezoids that are made are the same. Something probably similar to that, right? Now, there are 5 answer choices, right? Siddharth doesn't like that. Something we can do is think about, okay, well, what about the first 2 options? They're the smallest 2. X is 2.5 and X is 3.5. If X is 2.5, we're saying our vertical line is going right here. I can promise you, without any math involved, the area of this small thing is not nearly the same of this large thing over here, which is what we're trying to do. We can go ahead and get rid of 2.5. We know that just by glancing at this, looking at this, we know that can't be right. And the reason we know that is because it is technically drawn to scale because it is given to us, the coordinates of each edge is given to us. Next we have 3.5, so it would also be about right here. Also not big, not good enough, not going to be close to what we want the answer to be. Meaning, we really only have 3 answer choices to look at here. And I would say, since we know it's either C, D, or E, choose D. That way, if it is D, you're done. If D is too small, right? Let's see, D is going to be 5.5. Let me go ahead and draw that up here. So if D is 5.5, and 5.5 is going to be somewhere about here, right? If you have this side being bigger than this side, then you know that 4.5 is the answer because it needs to be shifted this way. If you know that this side over here where the X is bigger than the left side, you know that it has to be 6.5. All right? Meaning you really only have to plug in one of these values. And more than that, I'm going to give you an actual equation here. The area of any given trapezoid, I'll write it over here. We have the area of a trapezoid. It's going to be 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. I'm going to switch markers. Black screen injected? Not quite. It's a black background. And we are standing behind a glass case of emotions, if you've seen Anchorman. Now, this is the area of a trapezoid, and we know that we want a line that will cut this trapezoid into two trapezoids with equal areas. Meaning, we're going to have 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height equals 1/2. I'm going to use base 3 and base 4. Same effective thing times height. We know this has to be true. We're going to take the area of the left one, and that has to be equal to the area on the right one. Meaning, my 1/2s can cancel, my h's can cancel, because I'm not changing the height. I'm just changing the length of the bases, or the width, if you will. Meaning, I just have b1 plus b2 equals b3 plus b4. From here, though, how do we know what our values are going to be? All right. How do I know what my base 1 and base 2 values are going to be, my base 3 and base 4 values? What you can do is say, well, I know base 1, and I'm going to go ahead and turn off the overlay for a moment. Come on. All right. All right. We have base 1, base 2, base 3, base 4. I know base 1, if I'm going to say that this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, those are my bases. I know base 1 is going to be equal to whatever this x point is, because it's further to the right, minus the x value of this point. Right? So it's going to be x minus 3, because that's the x value. B2 is going to be x minus 2, because that's the x value here. The x value up here is 9, and down here it's 12. However, it's going to be slightly different for 3 and 4. For my value here, I want my distance to be whatever this value is minus x. So I get this distance. So it's 9 minus x, and I have 12 minus x. Now, x is the same in all of these. I'm going to go ahead and transfer that over here. I'm going to add b1 and b2. All right, I'm going to add these together, so I'm going to get 2x minus 5 equals 21 minus 2x. Meaning, I'm going to just simply solve for x. I get 4x equals 26, or x equals 6.5. Now, you can plug and chug, possibly faster than this. It depends on how comfortable you are and how well you know the equations. Ideally, you recognize when you see this problem that the first two answer options are just trash. There's no way they work. They are. They are. Trash is maybe not what I want to say. They are, yeah, they're not possible. Just by looking at them, you can see that they are not anywhere near what they need to be. Then you're left with 3 other answer choices, and you can plug those in and see what you get. However, you still have to do this. You need to get to here regardless. Meaning you're still probably going to have to plug it in and do this. So you might as well just do this and solve for x. If there are no questions, I'm done. Didn't have much to go over with picture problems. If you guys have any problems, let us know. If you want, I don't know if we've said this tonight, for those of you who are now watching, we have halted the giveaway that we're normally doing. So the giveaway we were doing this week, all week, is for an essay revision session with this guy. However, today we're doing a special giveaway, if you will, another contest. And whoever wins this raffle gets 2 free, 2 hours, 2 free 1 hour tutoring sessions. You get 2 hours of free tutoring, split up into 2 sessions. Clear enough? Clear as mud?
I think
all right.
Clear as mud.
Is that a Midwest thing? Do you guys not, have you not heard that?
It's not a this place thing.
Can I join if you won the essay? Absolutely.
Yes, you can, Siddharth.
Yep. And you don't have to be a senior for this one because you're not doing an
Siddharth,
essay.
I thought you were done. Aren't you done? Points.
With an S. Points with an S will tell you how much.
Siddharth with
it's
an
the
S.
same amount of points, so it's 20 points for one thing. You've got the November one. Well, there you go. All right, let us know.
Sorry, Siddharth.
Or you know how to do that. If you have any questions, let us know. I think he put a question in there. We'll add it to the queue in a moment. See you guys.
Okay, non-essentials. If anybody doesn't know what a non-essential is, it's the same thing as in a positive. If you don't know what either of those things are, and you have no idea what I'm talking about, then tell me in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you do. And we're just going to do practice problems. You love non-essentials. I also love non-essentials, Siddharth. And they love us. We're a big, happy family. Hey, Brennan, could you turn on the overlay for the SAT?
It is on.
Thank you. Oh, it's on. Okay, apologies for the lag. Da 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 da. Is this the right test? Yes. Okay, very nice. 3 tickets, Siddharth. Okie dokie. We're looking at number 15 here. So we're dealing with non-essentials. Non-essentials, what should tip you off here is commas or dashes or parentheses. If there are not those things, then it's not a non-essential. You never have to think about it. In this question here, we have commas in places. We have it after state. We have it after state. We don't have it after state. We have it after geology. We have it after box and whatnot. So let's read the sentence here. Here we go. The summer of 2012 was the warmest in 170 years, records show. But Jason Box, an associate professor of geology at Ohio State, believes that another factor added to the early thaw. The dark snow problem. Okay, so there's other problems with this sentence, but what we want to figure out, as soon as you see any punctuation in any writing section or any English section question, look for your subject and verb so you can identify where your independent clause is. It's pretty clear that we have Jason Box. That is our, this dude, Jason Box, is our subject. Now, Jason Box got to do something. Jason Box, an associate professor of geology at Ohio State, hasn't done anything yet. Believes. This word believes is our verb. You are not allowed to separate a subject and a verb with extra words. You have to make it a non-essential, which means we need commas on either side. So this is the side of non-essentials that is just grammatical, punctuational. Punctuational? That's not a word, but I'm going to use it. Punctuational, which means we want a comma on either side of this non-essential. So Jason Box, yada, 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 believes this. Okay, we don't want to, we have to correctly separate the subject and the verb, meaning that we want a comma after Box, which means A is fine, B is wrong, C is fine, D is fine. So B is out. Let's get rid of B. Right? That work? Yeah. Yeah, same. C. Okay. You guess C. That's a good guess because we have a comma on either side, and we don't like D because it has a comma in the wrong place and no comma at the end. Yeah, C. There you go, everybody. Good job. Siddharth, you're hosting us. Thank you for the host. That's cool, Siddharth. We appreciate that. You can pretend to be us if that's what you're into. You might be into it. Cosplay. Cosplay is Brendan's personal life. How does one buy tickets? Buying tickets. Buying tickets is, you get them for stuff. We also do an exchange rate. Yeah. Well, no. Buying tickets, not entering the raffle. I think.
You can't buy the tickets. So if you are a subscriber, you get a certain number of points just like tacked on. If you're a follower, you get points tacked on. If you're a subscriber, you earn points quicker, I think. But you accrue them just by watching the stream. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you buy tickets?
Did we block Siddharth?
Oh, that could have been.
Could have blocked Siddharth. That might have happened.
Yeah, there's you have to manually type in who you want to block from being able to accrue points, and we said, oh, Siddharth for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We were all angry at you. Okay, 24.
You used to buy them. I mean, if you want to pay for tutoring, you can just pay for tutoring.
No. This is better. We actually do a $1,000 to one nerd exchange rate. So if you want to pay for that, that's cool.
Are you that nerd?
I'm not that nerd. I'm not that nerd. No, I'm not.
Again.
All right, number 24. We're looking at this. We're doing our recognition thing where we figure out what the question is asking before we answer it so that we know exactly what we're doing. This test doesn't feel as painful. Here, colleagues were important for sharing ideas. Okay, fine. And ideas couldn't be shared with colleagues. Same idea, saying it a different way, which means we are dealing with a couple of different possibilities. We're dealing with concision. We're dealing with misplaced modifiers. Those are the two things. You want to be concise. You want to say it the right way. and I guess, passive voice, but that's also concision. And then, that's basically it. And then I missed having colleagues nearby to consult. All right. So we're saying the same idea about talking to colleagues about our ideas, but we're saying it in a different way. So D, Fortlight, as I explain why it's D, why is it D? Why don't you explain as well? In this case, we're going to read the whole sentence for sure, and we're starting with, down at the bottom, I think. Yes. Having become frustrated trying to solve difficult problems, comma. That does not have a subject. It's starting with the verb having, right here. Okay? Okay, so it can't be C because you need a person. Yes, you need a person because the beginning of the sentence doesn't have a subject. So we have a modifier here. The whole beginning of the sentence is actually a non-essential element. Having become frustrated trying to solve difficult problems, somebody has to be able to be frustrated. So colleagues were not frustrated necessarily. Ideas don't get frustrated. And A is no colleagues were nearby. Yeah, we want D, as Fortlight said, because the non-essential is describing I, the narrator. And if you're not describing that, the meaning of the sentence has changed, and this sentence doesn't make any sense. So the recognition here is you're saying the same thing multiple different ways, and grammatically none of them are bad. So you check for concision because that's pretty common. And you also check for misplaced modifiers. In this case, the modifier is at the beginning, and it has to modify what immediately follows the comma, and there's only one choice. Okay? That's the whole deal. Now, we're going to go to number, I think, 34? Possibly 34. And then, nope, not 34. That might be it for this section. Is it 34?
Ooh, we're done.
Yeah, we might be done.
Back to math.
No. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. Sorry, Brandon.
The whole chat just sighed.
Yeah, did it? I didn't hear
upset.
chat sigh.
They're upset.
Okay, 35. Now, there are a couple things wrong with these answer choices, but let's read them. Speaking in a more pragmatic way, speaking in a way more pragmatically, in a more pragmatic speaking way, and more pragmatically. In this case, we're probably going to get rid of D because it's horrifying. And then the other ones, who's speaking in a more pragmatic way, okay? Or just more pragmatically. The discipline encourages students to analyze complex material. I would say that A is the only option here because the subject of this sentence is the discipline. Okay? If the discipline is the subject of the sentence, then that modifier before it in the sentence needs to be able to be said about the discipline. And you wouldn't say that the discipline speaks in a pragmatic way. Therefore, you would say, but more pragmatically, the discipline yada 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 yada. Okay? Because, and it also ends up being more concise. You just say more pragmatically. So there are a couple ways to get to the answer choice being A. But I am teaching you non-essentials and misplaced modifiers. So one of the other things that should tip you off is if you begin a sentence without a subject, which you're allowed to do, make sure that check to see if you're dealing with misplaced modifiers, because whatever subject comes after that comma needs to be able to do that thing. So you wouldn't say the rock, running down the street, the rock tripped Sid. You would say running down the street, Sid tripped on a rock, because if the rock were running down the street, I don't know. There are a bunch of jokes you can make there, but I don't feel like making a joke. Guys, can you turn off the overlay for me, and then we can get started on Sid's question.
All right.
Disciplines can't speak. The guy who wrote this test was clearly drunk. Shake my head. Dr. Dwayne The Rock Johnson tripped me. Exactly, yeah. That's what I was thinking. That's what you were thinking. Yeah. Are you okay, Sid? I hope you're okay. What do you want?
I want a marker.
Oh.
What is Sid's question?
Okay.
The problem of Sid. You are not the problem. This is your problem. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not like the problem of Sid is what we're trying to solve here. So they're telling us that f of x has two properties.
You know this?
No, I don't.
Okay.
F of a
And now?
plus b. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Thank you for asking again. Just kind of rub it on my arm. That's how I need it.
Did that
Good. F of a plus b is equal to f of a minus b. And they're telling us that f of 2 is equal to 10. And they want to know f of 5 is equal to what? Very interesting. Very interesting. Probably something to do with recognition, if you ask Levi. Step one is always recognition. All right, so this is a crucial piece of information. They wouldn't have given this to us if we didn't have to use it. We have to somehow get from f of 2, which we know is 10, to f of 5. All right? Can we, using this property, turn f of 2, turn 2 into 5? This property allows us to add a number to an original number, and then it tells us how the output is going to change. So if we want to turn 2 into 5, we're going to have to add 3 to it. So let's just see what that looks like. Okay, I'm going to stop there for a sec. 2 plus 3 is 5. This is f of 5. If we can find f of 2 plus 3, we've found our answer. So now let's refer to this property. F of 1, question mark? Amber Muffin. No. But you're on the right track because you've got an F and a parenthesis and a number in there, so that's good. So if I'm just going to copy what this identity tells us with this, then f of a plus b is f of the first number, which is going to be f of 2. And then we just subtract the second number. Just subtract what is now 3. So if this is correct, yeah, let's get a new blue. Is this blue dead or is it just, okay. We got
But don't smash this one. It's new.
Oh, Siddhartha, you got it. Exactly. F of 5 is going to be, we know that this is 10. Ooh, okay.
It's nice, right?
It's very nice. F of 5 is equal to 7. Siddhartha's got it. Siddhartha's got it. Amber Muffin. We got a face. Whose face is that? Is that an actual person we're supposed to recognize, or
I don't think so.
a standard human going like,
Standard human. All right, for those of you just joining, we are doing a giveaway tonight that is different than our giveaway we're doing for the whole week. And this giveaway is for for 2 free hours of tutoring with us.
and some iPod shuffles.
No, it's not.
They don't make those
The
anymore.
kind that are like half a gig that are like this big.
The stick of gum?
You remember those?
Yeah, of course.
Oh man.
I don't think I ever had one of those.
It's free one-on-one tutoring.
Free one-on-one tutoring. Yes, if that is not clear.
And an iPod first generation.
No, anytime you do an enter just like that, you're entered in. We have it to where it's not going to fill up the chat this time. We've had some complaints from ourselves about that being an issue. We want the chat not to be littered with that, but we want you guys to feel free to keep doing that. If you want, you can still check out how many points you have, and that will tell you, so you know how many you can buy. You can also go to our actual page for the giveaway to see how many tickets you have bought. Yes, shocked face, Amber Muffin. All right, we just did Sid's question, Siddharth. Now, every time I call them Sid, I think Sid from Toy Story, and I want to like you, Siddharth. I do. I keep thinking about you in the worst way possible as Sid from Toy Story.
Is that the neighbor?
Yeah, it's the neighbor who's just like abusing all the... Yeah, right? You did. Well, at least I used 2 Ds, so your Sid is different than that Sid. You're Sid the science kid. Are you like Bill Nye the science guy? Maybe not. Anyway.
No, his name is Sid. Come on, Brendan.
All right.
Ow.
Are there any other questions? I'll be checking the Discord. If you guys have anything you want us to know, Carl Sagan. I know. Anyway, don't need to go into that. Schwartzman being toxic again. I'm not the one. Oh no, Steven's not on. Never mind. If you were Steven, I had a good joke, good comeback ready. All right. Anyone got any questions? It can be about the giveaway. Well, if no one's going to ask, I can spiel again, because I know you guys love to hear continually, even though you're all in our Discord, that we have a Discord down below. Feel free to join that, ask your questions, talk about League, because apparently that's a popular thing still. Not only that was it big when I was in high school. Need reading strats. Okay, cool. What kind of reading strategies? How to approach it? How to answer specific questions? For the SAT or for the ACT? You tell me, Fortlight.
I think Fortlight's probably talking about the book on your personal life. Because it's really dense.
Just like me, pretty dense. Anyway, answering evidence questions for the SAT. League is fun. I'm not saying it's not fun. I used to play it back in high school, so it's been a while.
Evidence questions for the SAT.
Great.
Now, evidence questions are not fun, but the approach is to make them very logical. So if now there are the evidence-specific questions, and then there are those two-part questions. Either way, you have a question, and the answer will be in the evidence. So your first pass needs to be pick out the question, make sure you're answering that exactly. If it's a purpose question, you're answering a purpose question. If it's a main idea question, that's what you're answering. If it's an inference question, that's what you're answering. I think two-part inference questions are the hardest questions on the reading section. Now, when you're doing those evidence things, you look down and you get rid of the irrelevant ones. So the ones that are clearly not talking about your question at all. They're just not talking about it. So it's unrelated. It's gone. You're gone. Yeah?
You go.
Points. Hey, Marshy. I haven't said hi to Amber. Hi, Amber. You're dying? Oh, it's dying. Okay.
Talking about League.
Got it,
Well, you could always do Dota. Yeah. Anyway, Dota 2. But for any of you checking your points right now, well, Marshy, you can buy 9 tickets. Wow. Okay. But for every 20 nerds you have, you can buy a ticket. I think we've capped it tonight, since it's only a one stream thing, at 10. 10 tickets. So Marshy, if you really wanted to get a one-on-one session, 2 hours of one-on-one sessions, you can really almost guarantee your odds. Get a lot of the odds in your favor. I don't know, Amber Muffin. Dota 2 is, there's no way it's dead, because they're like they're championship matches, and get like the winners make like so many millions of dollars. You can't tell me that a $17 million pot means that it's dying. Like, come on. That's
just going out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Dota's a game.
Reading section questions, evidence-based questions for Fortnite, and those of you who care, which is maybe a lot of you, not Amber or Vinroy, but SAT people. The idea is to get rid of irrelevant questions first, and then you're not dealing with such a hard question. You're hopefully trying to decide between two answer choices that are just line numbers, and the line numbers have to point specifically. Do not assume things. It is probably going to hurt you, because the more you assume, the more likely you are to get away from the answer they want you to pick. It's an evidence-based test. So if your name is Fortnite or Jerry, if your name is Jerry and you make assumptions, unfortunately for you, Jerry, you are not taking a test that's based on your assumptions and your thought processes and your preconceived notions of life, really, too much. It is about the evidence in the test. So those words that they give you have to point to the answer to the question. That's what it's about. And then it's proving them wrong, because they are very complicated, and especially on those inference questions, it's very difficult to know exactly what's going on. So you need to prove words wrong, because it's easier to do that than prove an entire answer correct. Whoa, lots of points.
For people trying to, Gem, you can only get 10 tickets total, and if you've already bought one, you can't buy 10 more. For those of you who are buying tickets right now, we took off the thing that will confirm that. I would say check your points before you buy, because if you try to buy 10 tickets and you only have 100 points, you're going to buy none. It doesn't buy up to the number.
All of your tickets.
But I think a couple of you have done that, where you said buy a certain number of tickets, then you checked your points, like Lemonade and I think someone else. Make sure you're actually getting tickets there. Actually, Anyway.
2 seemingly good answers on the SAT reading, best way to eliminate. Stop doing that question, move on, and come back to it, because those are the hardest questions.
Yeah, not evidence question. Yeah, what he said. Because you are then trying to get very granular and very nitty-gritty on what part of those answers are wrong.
No, exec. I apologize. It will not work that way. They're two different things.
There's a question in the Discord.
Oh, I'm questioning the Discord.
A system of equations.
Oh, I like these.
I am sorry, though, exec, but we can't make it work that way for a couple of reasons. Sorry.
But if you win, you get tutoring.
If you want it. Okay, so non-evidence questions. If you are left with 2 and it's hard, skip it, because your thought process has not worked well enough. If you've looked at it for a minute or so, leave it. Come back. When you come back, start from scratch. Go back to the question itself and make sure you're answering that question exactly how it's worded, because there are a lot of little words in there that can entirely change the meaning, or at least point it in a different direction. And you have to come at it from the perfect perspective to choose between that A and C that are basically identical, or both seem to be true. Also, be very wary of things. If it's true, that doesn't mean it's right, because it has to answer the question. So there are a lot of possible reasons. If you want to give us an example of a hard one, ideally from an official test, that would work better, so we can work through exactly how to, find those nitpicky problems with the second best answer. I'm done.
Okay. There's a couple ways we could do this system of equations. So this was asked in the Discord. I actually didn't see who it was. Sorry. Let me see who asked it.
Brandon.
Exec. Thanks, Exec. This question is what appears to be a fairly difficult system of equations because it's got some nasty coefficients. Now, they also give you x almost on its own, meaning you might think that the best thing to do here is to substitute. And that might be true. But you know, if you've seen this, watched this stream at all, I really don't like to do substitution. I prefer elimination. And I see a way that I can make this pretty clean for elimination.
Do substitution, my lord.
No, I'm going to do two things real quick. I'm going to multiply this by 2. Let me get a different color.
Why?
Why? I'll show you why. Ooh, it's also a new marker. That's so good. All right. I'm going to multiply by this by 2, and I'm going to subtract this 3y.
I don't know how well the orange stands out from the green.
It doesn't look any different. Sorry, guys. Let's see if this blue's better. At least it doesn't look very different. All right. Here we go. So now I'm going to end up with 5 halves x minus 3y equals 2.
Rewrite it.
Yeah. Now I'm going to rewrite this down here. I have negative 1/2 x, because I multiplied it by 2, plus 3y equals 4. What I'm going to do now is just simply add these.
Substitution, my lord.
Conveniently, these cancel. This is going to give me 5 halves minus 1/2 is just 2x equals, right, plus 0y equals 6. X equals 3, and that's all we're solving for. Right? They want us to find x, meaning if you solve this for x and then substitute through, you're going to end up solving for y, and then you're going to have to plug that back in, which is really not too much extra time. But that's one of the reasons I solved doing elimination.
Why not substitution, my lord?
Why not substitution? Fractions can be gross. You want to make sure whatever route you're taking to solve for any given math problem, there are multiple ways to solve for various different equations. And what you want to do is find the path of least resistance, if you will. There were very few ways for me to mess up simple arithmetic here, right? If I was going to be multiplying by 2/5 across and then plugging all that in for this x, multiplying by a negative 1/4, there were a lot of ways for me to make a simple mistake. And I recognized that, so I looked again and I saw that this is 3/2 and this is 3. If I multiply this by 2, I'll have the same. So let's go ahead and look at it that way. I want to get my x's and the y's on the same side and go from there. All right. When is Levi going to raffle more essay reviews? Tomorrow. So this whole week we've had a giveaway going for essay reviews. We have put that on pause for tonight to do one just for some free tutoring sessions. And then tomorrow that same raffle will continue. So this is a different raffle. So if you've entered for the essay review or essay revision raffle, your points and tickets are still there. We've put it on pause while we do this one tonight. These tickets and those tickets are completely separate.
Hey, exec. I'm really sorry, but you already won.
Ooh.
So you can't win again. I do it for not free. But you're not in a bad place, I swear. Like you're gonna be fine.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All right. Does this make sense though, exec? The question you asked? Why it is 3? For not free? Yes, some might say paid or for money.
Although
para dinero. Uh-oh. I'm dying. Yes, it does need a lot of help.
Exec. I was talking to Siddharth. Siddharth said that he might pay for you, so talk to Siddharth about that. Okay? Yeah.
Anyway.
For not free. That's
not
what that
free.
means, Siddharth. You've entered into a verbal agreement. Jerry, be nice.
His obituary reads, "Dreams shattered, hopes crushed."
Okay.
That's so funny. Wait, you're one of those people who's pretty toxic on League, I can tell. I appreciate it because I love that, but come on.
I'll put words in your Twitch chat. This is our Twitch chat. You are chat.
He what is it in his mouth?
No, not you, Siddharth.
No, not you, Siddharth. Fortnite, 100%.
Yeah, you're very wholesome, Siddharth. So wholesome that you'll pay for exec, right? Wow.
Ooh, my gosh!
those
Can you
hips?
guys hear his hip
Hit my
pop?
hips. Ooh.
Hey, Fortnite, good to see you. You've been here. Why are you saying?
Fortnite.
Hey,
Fortlight's probably saying, hey, because Fortlight probably has a pertinent question.
Oh,
That's
that must
already
be
in the
it.
Discord?
Oh, let me
I think
check.
so. Bird, is there a question in the Discord?
There's no question in the Discord.
No question
my
in the
lord.
Discord, my lord. Yes?
I'm spending my money on
Why
a new
not
Nintendo
substitution,
Switch
my
game.
lord?
Ooh, which one? I mean, guys, give us. I was temporarily banned a couple times on League. Exec. So you're toxic. Okay.
Smash Ultimate.
Or intentionally feeding, but I think you would prefer to let me think you're toxic. That's okay. All right. If you guys have any questions, let us know.
Why do you like that so much?
I can't explain it. I just like it.
Recommendations on how to get into college, how to operate the college life, how to.
Brandon's
do it.
personalized.
BPL. A lot of updates.
BPL.
A lot
Out of the
updates.
three of you,
Who has the best pickup lines?
I
Shorts
think
man.
mine is.
We're all right now thinking about puns on that question.
And none of us got anything good.
That's what I
Shortsman, best calc for SAT. Best calculator?
Who's Shorts?
One that you know well.
He's Shortsman.
Ideally, that has graphing
short.
capabilities. I don't think you'll need that too much, but it's not. I mean, you want to have something that can graph, preferably. And I would say the best calculator is one you're the most familiar with.
Yes.
You don't want
One
to
with
use.
which you're most familiar.
You don't want to end a sentence with a preposition.
Never end a sentence with the preposition.
Unless you're
Yo,
talking.
You should stand
In the
between
middle? Very
Yeah.
good.
Tips on
why
why-
ex-college essays. Oh, why this college? Yeah.
Make sure that it's like if you're gonna have if there's a college you want to go to, and it's not just a safety college, or even if it is, you should have reasons why you want to go there, and it shouldn't be the same reason you want to go to another college, right? If it's somewhere in the Northeast, you're not gonna write the same thing as if you're writing to a college, one of the UCs.
Yeah, he's
'Cause
saying lie about it.
weather's gonna be important in the UCs. You're gonna be like, I love that it's summer all year round. Don't send that to Harvard. Goodness, right? You want to make sure that you actually find things that are relevant, that are important to you.
Yeah, exactly. That's not gonna work because I know what your essay's about. So it doesn't work that way.
What is that an alt? What's an
An
alt?
alternate account.
Oh, I see. Very
So
good.
That's
idea, though.
actually hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, for tips on certain college essays, if it says why do you want this college, why do you want it? Why do you want to go there? Don't just say I want to go to a prestigious college. Don't just say it's a really good college, so I want to go to a really good college. Say I know that a lot of the professors who are in the field I'm interested in are studying some cool stuff, and I would like to be able to research with them one summer or something like that. Look
Yeah.
into it. Do some research.
Siddharth, for example, for you.
Oh, because you've actually
Yeah.
seen their essay.
So, physics stuff. Talk about the physics department. Now, the essay should not be about that school's physics department, but it should be, I am interested in that. I like this thing that they did. It demonstrates that you researched the school, and then you bring it back to you immediately. 'Cause
Yes.
you're still writing about yourself. So I want to do this because, yep. There you go.
Devour the
Because
website. Look at
Slack
the
it,
department
Stanford.
that you were trying to get into and just read everything you possibly can, which is kind of what these guys are saying anyway. And reference actual details from that school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know your voice, Exec. I don't know, man.
Internship research programs in high school.
Yes. Addressed to me.
You did?
No,
Oh,
that was a question.
You did?
You said yes.
Yeah,
I was
dude.
saying yes, as in
You
I was
never told us you
accepting the
did that.
question.
So no, he didn't.
You are
I
intentionally misrepresenting what
Brady,
I'm
did
responding
you?
with.
No, I was a lifeguard.
Yeah, I didn't have a job in high school. I did sports for tons of time.
Sports.
I sort of started a lawn mowing business. Didn't write about it, so nobody knew.
Did you mow lawns?
I did.
How many?
Dozens.
Dozens?
Oh my goodness,
That's a lot
it's
of
so much.
lawns.
Not that many.
Do you have any? Here we go. Thanks.
Let's
Wait,
read it together.
Remix?
Remix.
I think you're new. Welcome to the thing. Welcome to
Remix
the
feeder.
stream. Feeder.
Okay.
If you want to join the raffle for free tutoring session, go head up here. If you want help on essays, tomorrow is our
Hey!
giveaway for that.
Hey, so Remix Feeder is also
Hey.
a lifeguard and plays tons of sports.
Tons of sports. I quit all the sports but one by the time I finished high school.
I'm no
It was
longer a
worth it, I
lifeguard.
promise. But
Yeah.
do you have any tips on overthinking math questions? A while ago, there was a scatter plot with a line of best fit that gave you the slope. I plugged it into my calculator, and that gave me an X value they wanted. But then I double-checked it by looking at the graph, and it changed my correct answer to the wrong one. I would say make sure you're being very careful reading what they're asking. So they might be asking you for the difference between a value on that line that is best fit and one of the points.
Child of Brendan and Brady, are you?
If only that was scientifically possible. Someday.
I think actually I took a class on some types of genetic stuff. They can have, I think it's a woman and a woman can actually have a genetically, like a biological
Shared
child.
baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I don't know
So
exactly.
all you gotta do is get a sex change.
Or maybe it's
and
two
then you
men.
can have a
No,
baby.
maybe it's two men because they actually have both
Oh.
X and Y chromosomes. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yes.
there is some stuff about it that you can do. I don't know. It was a pretty cool
I write
lesson.
down all
Okay.
steps when solving, even if I plug into the calc so I can see where I mess up. Siddharth, you angel.
Sweet Siddharth.
Yeah, if you have very little time left, then it's pretty hard. Something we kind of stress is being able to recognize what they're asking in the math problems remix. So we went over a few tonight that the more math problems you do, the more you get used to quicker ways to solve them, and you start to get used to just by glancing at the problem what types of things they could ask for. Now, I'm not expecting you to take 50 different tests and get that comfortable with it.
But I am.
57, 5? I'm sorry, I missed that.
57 times 5.
Oh, 57 times 5.
I think, but yeah, I'm not really
Oh,
sure.
We
okay.
are very friendly with the College Board.
Yes.
We're not. They don't talk
No.
to us.
We
Got a
wish
big
they'd
crush
told
on
us
them.
more.
Got a fat crush on them, and they just kind of spurn
He
us.
will not do your homework for you, exec. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, remix. Oof. It's hard to know what to do when you got like 15 seconds left.
Yeah, if one thing you need to make sure to do is answer every question. If you are near the end and there's almost no time, the most important thing is to put down an answer for everything. That's not what you're asking, but you want to make sure that every answer you have for that section is filled before the section time runs out. Overthinking math questions. I would say make sure you're reading the question carefully the first time, and if it doesn't make sense right away, just skip it and come back. Every question on the math section, on all of them, right, they're worth the same amount. So come back to it. Come back to it later when you are not overthinking it potentially, or you've seen something else that maybe reminds you of what you need to do. If you're taking the SAT, you have 58 questions, ACT 60, so you have a lot of other questions in there that might help jog your memory a little bit and say, oh wait, I think I know what to do now. Right? Your subconscious is pretty fantastic. Why do they weight the reading and writing higher than the math?
Because it's heavier.
Their scales were twisted. A little messed up.
Twisted skills.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Don't know. We didn't have that decision. When they made that decision, they didn't consult us, which was
Yes.
actually pretty surprising to
We're
us.
annoyed
We were very
that
We were
surprised
told they
when
would.
that happened.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Remix, hopefully that helps. If not, let us know. If you have any specific questions, math, reading, writing, science, if it's ACT stuff. If you have any questions about college app essays, college in general, stuff like that, let us know. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, that's what we're here for. I think you're new to the stream, so.
What days do you have
Execration.
available to work on
Who's
math?
Brendan?
He
I'm
does
Brendan.
It, he does
oh,
it
hey,
for
Jem.
not free. So you can actually reserve him if you want, just
Hey,
for
Jem,
not free.
I'm Brendan.
No,
This is
I'm
Brandon.
Brendan. I hate you.
I'm Levi. Brady.
I'm Brady.
Brandon.
Yes.
Nerdish.
Swinging in motion. You might even say in tandem.
Exactly. If you do want to work with me, then you can send me a message in the Discord. We'll figure it out, okay?
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jem, I think you've signed up for some tickets. If you guys still want to do that, you can keep entering in tickets. I think the first ticket for everybody is free.
Yes.
So everybody should hit enter at least once if you have any SAT, ACT, PSAT tutoring you're interested in. Oh.
Sorry. We should do the Newton's cradle thing.
Oh, yes.
Okay, wait. So no, I'm actually never gonna move.
Yeah.
It's just you guys. There we
Oh,
go.
I really feel it.
Yeah. Well, that's because it's momentum. There we
Right.
go.
How do you enter the giveaway? You type in ! enter and then hit enter or return.
Robot
Ooh.
Dancer, what's up?
Yeah.
The day that Brady wears contacts is the day I must come up with a new nickname.
Fortnite. I don't even own contacts.
Yeah, Fortnite, your names are
you?
fine, but also all
don't?
of them are ambiguous because we both have glasses, we all wear shorts.
No, I'm definitely the weird
And-
shorts guy.
We all could wear jeans. Now, I understand the jeans part. I understand it. Ask questions about the SAT or Brendan's personal life. Jeez.
Those
Yeah,
are the two
if you
things
have-
we talk about.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're a junior remix, so you've got plenty of time to worry about the rest of the tests. So I think it's
Yeah.
good that you're still joining
Well,
the stream and
Remix is
doing
talking
that.
about the national merit stuff.
Right, meaning they're a junior.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just took it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the test they were talking about. So you
Hey,
have plenty of time
Remix,
for
just
the
don't
rest
be
of everything else.
Just don't, just kind of, oh, what do you say?
repress, and dissociate. And just keep moving on, you guys. You don't have
You
to worry
win
about it.
against your feelings if you can just repress them and dissociate. From
You
them.
guys should do one reading passage in the questions and tell us your thought process through the passage.
That'd
Do you
be
want us to
interesting.
sit here and read it though?
Yes, we can do that.
Especially not if Levi's the one reading
Now,
it.
question: are we doing the SAT or the ACT?
Yes,
Who knows?
You guys
which
would
one?
want that. Okay.
Which one?
All right.
SAT or ACT? SAT.
SAT. We got an SAT.
SAT.
We got Amber Muffin.
SAT.
Amber Muffin. Aren't you taking the ACT?
SAT.
SAT,
Oh, guys,
SAT.
this is just SAT
Yes.
across the board.
I don't know
All
what
right.
test.
This is gonna be
Okay,
fun.
that's a different test, Amber.
I think after each paragraph, the three of us should
Get
discuss,
a hard
and then
one
we'll keep going.
to no going easy.
Oh, you know we won't do that.
Fort Light. Work on your grammar.
Should we
Not
get
your
the-
grammar,
Should we get the
your punctuation.
historical one?
Historical one? I don't know which one that is.
Akira came directly, breaking all traditions.
I've done this one possibly like 30 times.
Yeah, Amber.
Any.
What? Yeah.
Saturday. Ooh. Yes, for anyone who's in the
Sorry,
chat right now,
Fortnite.
if you want any help, if you want to be entered in for a chance for some 2 free hours of tutoring for the SAT, ACT, PSAT, do enter, do ticket. You can put a number after that. You can do exclamation point points to see how many points you have. A ticket is 20 nerds. Nerds are what we use for points because we're not clever enough to think of something more original.
Because we're nerds. Because we know
There you go. Yeah, I mean, we can go through this real quick. Okay.
Wait, you know, the first thing we should do is let's take a look at the questions and see if they're
Yeah.
aligned.
Levi doesn't like doing that, but I do. So
I want to do
the
it
two
that way.
authors passage, how do we know who wins and can we redeem it whenever?
We tell you at the end. Wait, is this the?
Yeah, we're going to be drawing later tonight, so it's only during the stream. At the end of the stream, we'll be doing that. Redeem it whenever. I mean, ideally, it's in the next week. It's for now.
We'll keep track of it forever. So if you want to, not use it until you're 50, we'll remember. We'll keep the records.
But this one is more for a short, a pretty quick tutoring session. All right, now other than do literature, it's fine. Okay. All right. Now Brady and I have a similar pattern here, similar style. I'm gonna scoot over a little bit so we can both have our faces here.
All right, I'll just be right behind you.
I hate you. Get out of here. No, I meant you could stay here. I'm shorter, so my
You're in the
face isn't
middle?
cut off.
Okay.
Yeah. What we want to do, okay, so I see question 3 says line 65, so I can't go and mark it now, but I would in theory.
What about line 66, my lord?
I would go and mark it. I only care about 65 right now. Let's see what. Oh man, someone marked this.
What are the other questions?
The other questions? It doesn't look like anything here. Nothing there. No line numbers.
Okay.
All right. No 2-part yet.
Next page.
I see that. 5 and 4 are 2-part questions.
Oh,
so
geez.
I would mark those. I would circle 5. They're on separate pages. So I would circle 5, and I would circle 4, so that I know that when I get to that, I have the evidence for it somewhere else. All right. Next, I would keep going. Nothing. Okay, the main purpose of the first paragraph. I glanced at the answers, and none of it has to do with anything else about the rest of the passage. So I would go ahead and go back to the reading, go back to the actual thing here, and I would mark the first paragraph.
Pretty small.
Pretty small, yes.
Yes.
I would then say, okay, line 2. I
Oh.
would also go and mark that.
That's fantastic.
Looking at this, 9 and 10 are going to be evidence, 2-part questions, and they actually tell us it's at line 32 is where we're going to read about this matter of urgency. I would make sure to read that. I would circle these and go from there.
So we already have 2 questions that we're going to do almost off the bat. One about the purpose of the first paragraph, and then one about
Line
a
2
word that's in
form.
line 2. So we're going to be done with 2 very, very quickly. All right.
You want to read the first paragraph?
I do. Akira came directly, breaking all tradition. Was that it? Had he followed form, had he asked his mother to speak to his father to approach a go-between, would she have been more receptive?
Okay, now I'm looking at the word form here. Had he followed form, had he asked his mother to speak to his father to approach a go-between, would she have been more receptive? Okay. Had he followed form?
It's the question form.
Form. Had he followed form? Had he followed appearance? Had he followed custom, structure, or nature? Nature doesn't make sense. Appearance doesn't make sense. Let's look at custom and structure.
The form they're talking about is asking his mother to speak to his father to approach a go-between, which we'll figure out what a go-between means, but it's
Later
a
on.
list of behaviors here that he did not do, that they're hypothetically pondering about what if he had done this.
All right. Meaning, sounds like we want custom.
Yes.
Right? And what we want to do here is reuse each of these words in that sentence. Had he followed appearance? No. Had he followed custom? That sounds good. Had he followed structure? No. Had he followed nature?
Ooh.
Nature doesn't really make sense here either. Then we've already read the first paragraph, so the main purpose of the first paragraph is it to describe a culture, criticize a culture, question a suggestion, or analyze a reaction.
Criticize a tradition.
Did I not say that?
You criticize a culture.
Oh, I said culture twice.
Yeah,
Got it.
don't worry
Describe
about
a culture, criticize a tradition,
Don't worry about
question a suggestion, or analyze a
it.
reaction.
That's interesting. Let's see if we can eliminate anything right off the bat. Does it describe a culture?
Not really. Now we know it's something about a custom, but I don't. They haven't really described it to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're criticizing. I'd have to reread it again to see if it's a criticizing, but I don't think so. It's more talking about him and his, what he maybe should or shouldn't have done.
Yeah. No, wait. Question and suggestion is interesting. Let's go back to the first paragraph because I think there was a question mark at the end of it. Would she have been more receptive? That's interesting. So there is a question there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, there's breaking all tradition. Was that it? Had he followed form, would she have been more receptive? Right? Had he followed form, would she have been more receptive? All right. So it's definitely, maybe not. I don't think it's criticizing a tradition.
I don't think it is either.
He didn't follow form.
It's not saying the tradition is wrong.
Yeah.
Or that it needs to be.
And they're not describing
improved.
the culture. They do talk a little bit about it. Any questions if you don't understand any? Oh, yeah. There. Sorry. That was Levi. They're not describing the culture. They talk a little bit about what maybe he should have done, but that is not really the whole purpose of it is not to describe the culture. And I don't know what reaction they're talking about. They're not analyzing a reaction. They are kind of supposing a reaction.
Yeah, it sounds like she had not been receptive, but analyzing means breaking something down. And they didn't really break down Chi's reaction here.
Right. Meaning, if we look at this, we've already crossed off 3 wrong, so we're saying they're questioning a suggestion. Meaning the suggestion of, had he asked his mother to speak to his father as approach to go between, would she have been more receptive?
Yeah.
So the suggestion is the non-essential here.
Not the right
Not it?
answer?
The answer is D.
Is it D?
Yeah.
I don't think they're analyzing it well, though. All right.
They're analyzing the reaction. Okay. So the reaction wouldn't have happened.
I guess I guess in theory,
There are only questions.
there are only questions. So I guess in theory, the whole reaction is we know that it was not a good one. She was not receptive. Meaning, the analyzing it is what would have made it better. All right. There you go, guys.
SAT has some hard questions, guys.
Nobody's perfect.
Except for Brendan.
That's valid.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right. So those are the first 2. The next one would be probably line 65 that I would answer. I would look at the first 2 here. I would not answer 1 first. If you finish this and you go back, I would skip this one. What happens in the passage? Wait till the end.
Oh, yeah.
That should be the last question you answer. Right? I would also say, well, 1 or 2 should be the last 2 questions you answer. They actually do that a lot in the SAT, and I think the ACT as well, where they ask, what is the main idea of this passage? Well, you've skimmed it, or you've read it once, and that's not enough necessarily for you to have an answer to this. Now, maybe it is. Maybe you know well enough, you understood the passage very well, and you read it, and you know the answer. However, answering the rest of these questions is going to give you a much better understanding of the passage because you will have to reread parts of the passage, right? Meaning, you'll have read more and have a better understanding in its entirety to answer those questions.
Could you do number 3 now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Line 65. We can jump straight to it.
Okay.
Right here. We have an understanding. Please don't, and this is a quote. We have an understanding. Please don't judge my candidacy. Candidacy by the unseemliness of this proposal. I asked directly because the use of a go-between takes much time.
Oh.
All right. And this is saying directly,
Now
meaning
let's go back to line 1.
it's line 1 as well.
Yeah.
What is this?
Akira came directly breaking all tradition.
You want us to read the entire passage. Well, you shouldn't necessarily be doing that to start. I know that's maybe not what you want to hear, but I don't recommend reading it before you do anything else. I would recommend looking at these questions, seeing which ones you can answer, or which ones you should mark so you know to answer them soon, and then go ahead and read it. If enough people want us, we can go through and just read the whole thing.
No.
I don't think that's... You do?
No, we should not.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good use of your time.
Just so you all know, we'll go right
Go ahead. I'll let you
here.
get in there. I'll let you get in there.
The approach that I take is different from the approach that they take. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean the approach that you should take should be the same as me or them.
us.
Okay? It should be the same as what you take because you can't not. But I would recommend trying out a different type of approach a couple different times and then picking the one that works best for you.
Yeah, by the way, once we finished, I think, this last question that had line 1 and line 65, I would have started reading this whole thing to get to the other questions.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm just going to pick and choose the entire time. At least in the SAT, I find that there's enough time to read everything. On the ACT, it's way harder to finish all the reading, but I would have read this entire thing after picking off the really easy ones.
Yeah, I would say I actually tend to not answer them until I read them in the passage, which means we would have answered those first 2 questions in the first 10 seconds or we would have gone to them in the first 10 seconds because that is just, they're both within the first paragraph. After that, the next question would have been after line 65. We would have finished reading it and then gone through. I don't think it's worth anybody's time for us to sit here and read this all the way through. I think if you want our train of thought, that is what we would do. I would go ahead now after we've answered this, I would read through this, and I think you do the same thing. I actually read it. I don't skim it.
I do too.
Levi skims it. He reads a little bit slower than we do. Not a bash on him, just part of the reason why he does it.
Yep.
I would read it through. I'd get down to here. I'd go to question 1 and 2. I would have already said skip those. I'd already have answered question 3 because line 1 and 65 already talked about this. And if we want, we can answer it now. It talks about a go-between, right? Or it says directly here. And if we look at it, it says directly, and it says go-between here. And it says in line 1, breaking all tradition, afterwards asking if they had used a go-between, would it have been different? Meaning, directly means is it frankly? No. Confidently? I think that's a good synonym for directly, but that is not what I would use here. I don't think it means being confident because he was confident to go and break tradition, right? Break custom. I think he has to be pretty confident if he's going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Without mediation, that sounds good. And without precision, I don't think with precision. Sorry. With precision. I don't think it talks about the actual precision doesn't make sense here, right? To go directly does not mean you're precise. It means to go directly as in he physically went. Without mediation, a mediator is a go-between. By definition, it is someone between them, right? So if Levi's up here and we're arguing, Levi's trying to stop it, or he's talking to us to kind of calm us down, he is a mediator.
Between you and I.
Between
us.
us.
We're arguing.
Yeah.
Right.
Between you and me.
Between you and me.
Between us.
My friend says to not read the whole passage because the unnecessary info which traps test takers.
I think it depends on what works for you and what works for them, Robot Dancer. Again, this is our method. Brady and I just happen to do it very similarly.
Yes.
Levi does it very differently. And whatever works for you is going to be the best. Now, we can give you a number of strategies for it. The best thing to do is to try each of the strategies and see what works. If you're a slow reader, do not do what we're doing right now. If you're a fast reader, this is potentially very viable.
Yeah.
I would say marking on the passage these lines, right, like line 1 and 65, is not going to hurt. I think it's going to help, and I think especially on the SAT, you want to read or glance at the questions beforehand so that you can then see the 2-part questions so you don't miss those as you're going through. Right? For on this one, because on this one, 4 and 5, which is on the next page, are 2-part questions. And if you're just on the end of a page, you're just going to answer it. You're not going to look at the next page to see if it's a 2-part question. Right? So there's things that can save you time regardless of how you choose to actually read through the passage. I found something on the ACT very recently. Hey, Vinroy, thanks for joining. The ACT doesn't do this tons, but it does do this. It says except questions, right? Which of the following, all of these are true except what? I would think the best thing to do is if you glance through the questions beforehand, you can do a similar thing here for the ACT. There's no 2-part question, so that part would be taken out. But if there's an except question, read it. I would say read it and see what they're talking about, and then read the passage. That way you can mentally be aware of what they're talking about as you go through, so you don't have to go and read through it all again when you get to that except question, because those are the most difficult questions on the ACT.
Yeah. Let's see. What time is it?
Levi, they want a passage with your strategy. Yeah, everybody, you can continue to enter for the free tutoring sessions. Vinroy, it's not going to show up. We remove the fact that it would just spit out to the chat all the time. So you can find out how many points you have and calculate it yourself, right? 20 points is 1 ticket and go from there. But we wanted to kind of keep the chat clean.
Is it worth it for us to read a whole passage?
I don't know if it's worth it for us to read a whole passage. I think you can go through what you want to do.
Yeah.
And maybe for you to read how you would do
exactly.
it.
Exactly. Okay, Robo T Dancer, I'm going to answer your question here.
Let me get out of your way. This is going to be Levi's strategy. Whatever strategy works best for you is what you should do, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's either of ours.
Right, but taking that into account, do what I say. Now.
But not what he does. Ha ha.
Can I have a towel, please?
S'il te plaît. Aïe, aïe.
Okay. Now, my strategy, I think it can work for anybody because anybody can skim. It is about a logical puzzle. It makes this into a logical puzzle. I think it works better on the passages, or it works well on passages that you don't want to read because you can't get through them because they're horrifyingly boring or bad or scary or whatever it might be. So, in this one, big paragraphs. Some people say you need to skim every line. That's not how I look at it. The way I look at it is read it closely until you know what's happening. Okay, so we're looking in the first sentence for information about what's going on. Also, I think it would help to read the little blurb in the front. So this passage is adopted from whatever. Money can't buy love. Asymmetric beliefs about gift price and feelings of appreciation. That's what the passage is about. So it just told us that. I mean, some of them are not that useful. I've actually not read this one in a while, but that kind of tells us. It's money can't buy love, asymmetric beliefs. So people, if that doesn't make sense to you, okay, whatever. But gift price, feelings of appreciation. We're talking about gifts. Okay, now let's read the first line. Yeah, and essays. Okay, so every day, millions of shoppers hit the stores in full force, both online and on foot, searching frantically. Okay, so people are buying stuff. Well, we got a 30 billion. I might circle that. I might circle millions, anniversaries, graduations, baby showers, so reasons for buying gifts. Skip a couple more lines. At the same time, many dread the thought of buying gifts. They worry that their purchases will disappoint rather than delight the intended recipients. Okay, lots of people buy gifts. Some people are stressed out about it. That's what we just did. We did it in about, I mean, if I weren't talking, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Now let's keep going. Anthropologists describe gift giving as a positive social process serving various political... so this is why they do it. Economists, however, okay, so that's a problem. We're going to ignore it now. We're going to jump down to here, maybe. To wit, okay, maybe we don't know what that means, whatever. Givers are likely to spend $100 to purchase a gift that receivers would spend only $80 to buy for themselves. Okay, so this looks like, nitty-gritty economist stuff, so maybe there's a study being done here. We skip down further. What is surprising is that gift givers have considerable experience acting as both gift givers and gift recipients, but nevertheless tend to overspend. Okay, so this is other stuff, i.e. that gift givers... So we're just going to keep moving along, more gift giver stuff. We keep going, and we do that thing for the rest of the essay. What that does is it allows me to say, now, I've been talking this whole time, and I haven't been paying that much attention to the real details about it, but we know that lots of people buy gifts. People are stressed about it, and then there's some asymmetric belief based on that title between gift givers and gift receivers, and then we keep going in that vein. Okay, and then when we get to the questions, number 11, we have the author most likely uses, the authors most likely use the examples in lines 1 through 9 to highlight something. Okay, I don't necessarily love purpose questions right off the bat because we don't understand the passage super well yet. But we can do number 10, so we do that one first and use context, and by using that context, we'll get at least half of a paragraph down pretty well. Then we go up to number 13. The authors indicate that people value gift giving because they feel it. Okay, and this is also a two-part question. I would do this two-part question because it seems like a relatively straightforward question because it says indicate. Now, if this word indicate were infer, it might be harder. And inference questions are very hard, even with two-part, because you have to make some kind of logical leap. You don't want to do that when you're not very familiar with the passage. But this question seems, it's just saying indicate. What do they indicate? So I would actually look here at the line numbers, do that, go to the passage, and then answer this two-part thing. And then we have, any other vocab and context, simple two-part questions, do those, and then you will have built up a very, very good understanding, and then whatever else needs to happen, you have a good mental image of where things are in the essay, and you work through that way. If you can read it fully first, just do that. Makes it fine if you can do that quickly enough. Is the giveaway... Can someone answer that? One of you two?
They did.
Oh, they did. That was Exec. Thank you, Exec. All right, so that's my approach. It's not their approach. We've done this. Does anybody have any questions on this? Maybe specifically about our approaches or math or Brendan's?
Substitution, my lord.
Why not substitution, my
There's a
lord?
question from Vinroy that is reading or writing.
Writing? Okay.
Yeah, I can move that with you.
Cool. Let me...
So soon, we're going to pull this up, but... All right, the question we have says at 2 p.m., comma, on October 27th, comma, 1904, semicolon, thousands of New York City residents poured into the streets of Manhattan. And now, from 2 p.m. to thousands, everything is underlined. Now, a couple of things you want to look at first. You want to try to, and again, everybody, this is down our Discord in our questions for Twitch channel. Vinroy posted it. It is going to be a question of whether or not we have independent clauses or not. Dependent clauses or maybe non-essentials. All right, we have a semicolon at first, and we have thousands of New York City residents poured into the streets of Manhattan. Now, that is an independent clause, so it's fine to have a semicolon before that, but let's see if everything before the semicolon also has to be, hey, Plaster Hippie, good to see you back. Everything before that has to also be an independent clause. And we have at 2 p.m. on October 27th, 1904. With or without all the commas they put in there, that is not an independent clause.
Damn.
Meaning F and H, seriously?
Yeah.
F and H cannot be correct here. All right? You want to answer that real quick?
No.
Yeah. I mean, I would say,
It depends.
yeah, it depends on
Sorry.
where you're at,
Yeah.
how comfortable you are. You don't want to just take it to have taken it. You want to make sure you're improving before you take it another time. And you want to take a practice test at least before you go and take the first test. Great. After that, we have on 2 p.m. October 27th, comma, 1904, comma, thousands of New York City residents poured into the streets of Manhattan. I like that. The other only option is on a 2 p.m. October 27th, comma, 1904, comma, thousands, comma, of New York City residents poured into the streets. I don't like that. H wouldn't be an option because you can't have a semicolon there. The beginning of that is not an independent clause, right? And we can't have that. And we also, well, it's not an independent clause before. So we can't, and it's not a dependent clause though either. At 2 p.m. on October 27th, 1904. It's not a dependent clause.
It's true. It's a
Right?
preposition.
It's a preposition,
Prepositional
prepositional phrase,
phrase.
because it starts with at, meaning it could be a non-essential, and it is, right? So we have at 2 p.m. on October 27th, comma, 1904, comma, and then our independent clause, meaning our answer for this one should be G. Soon we'll have it to where we can actually pull the questions up. We'll get that all sorted, guys. But for now, we are stuck to having to have you guys also follow along in the Discord.
Yo, the G looks like an arrow.
Yes, it does.
Big
All right.
deal.
Guys, we're going to be drawing the winner of the raffle tonight pretty soon. It's
Yep.
almost time. So if you want to get some last raffles in, last tickets in for your chance to get some free one-on-one tutoring with us, go ahead and do that. You can check how many points you have with exclamation point points. There you go. Excuse me. Gem, you can buy one more, and in like 5 more minutes, you can get another one. I think you accrue like 5 every couple of minutes. Maybe every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes. I don't know. But Gem, you'll probably be able to get at least one more before the stream is over if you want. Also, if you haven't, Gem, if you follow, you get like 15 more points, meaning you could probably get an extra ticket. What time do you guys start? I don't know what you mean by start.
We start drawing the raffle in 10 minutes. We
Yeah, in
start
about
the
10
stream.
minutes
We start the stream
at 8.
at 8 p.m.
Eastern.
Eastern.
Okay, great, Gem. Then you got extra points for that. All right.
Bird,
Also,
Bird, come up
while
here.
we're still here, we have our Discord down below. If you guys aren't in it, that's where all these questions are getting asked. We have Facebook link down below. We have our YouTube link down below. I don't think we have our Twitter down below because we still haven't really got that too situated. We have our information for tutoring down below. I don't think we've updated that with what our prices are, but we give a Twitch discount. So if anyone comes to us through Twitch, you're cheaper than if you just go to our website. And we have a way for you guys, if you do decide you want one-on-one tutoring, there's a way to say where you heard about us. If you say Twitch, it's $20 off an hour for our standard rates, standard tutors.
Twitch discount.
Twitch discount.
Robots in the
Disguise.
Twitch.
All right. Also, if you feel so inclined, you can subscribe via Twitch Prime or regularly. But if you have Twitch Prime, go for it. We would appreciate that. Again, we do this for free. We tutor one-on-one. That stuff's down below. We do this every night, Sunday to Thursday.
We like it.
Go ahead. What's up?
Bird, answer their questions that aren't there.
Yeah, okay. So I see Vinroy's Woot. I'm pretty sure that's an acronym. Why our owls the. That doesn't make any sense, Vinroy. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Woot. Ticket 13. You can only get 10 tickets total for tonight. The first ticket is free for everybody. If you follow, you get enough for maybe a ticket. I need to figure out if I'm doing that right.
Brendan might have messed it up and stolen all of your tickets.
Why did we erase that?
It was getting
I
in the
guess
way
you
of the
did it
reading.
right. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Vinroy, I know you've asked another one, but you've asked all the questions?
What does
Or the last
execration
couple
mean?
questions?
Amber Muffin.
No, it's just what is a
Hey.
different form in a.
Amber Muffin, you are maxed out on the tickets. Good for you. You have all the shots
Too
you can
many
take.
tickets.
Too many cooks?
Too many tickets.
Too many cooks in
It
the
takes a
kitchen?
lot to make a stew. Something, something, and tickets too.
All right.
I know what woot means. It actually is
Woot.
pronounced what,
What?
as though like root beer is actually root beer if you talk to the right people.
His boot butt.
Kind of irks me how I can't see how many tickets you actually have. You should be able to, maybe exclamation point giveaway. I think that's what it is. It'll give you information. You can see where you can actually click on the page and it'll show you how many tickets you've bought. Okay, it didn't work. Sorry, I wasn't sure.
You tried your best.
There it is. Thank you, exec. Where was that? Because I know it posted earlier. Well, exec is our current bot, and we appreciate and are thankful for that.
Hey, Jam is new.
Yeah, they
Haven't seen
followed
Jim
us.
around.
Thanks for the follow, by the way.
Jim is
Nice.
actually pronounced Jim.
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 Yeah.
Got
Oh,
it.
that's how people would say it back home. Jim was naked in the crick after he was done roofing.
That's incredibly inappropriate.
Isn't
His naked in the crook.
naked in the crick?
He should put on some trunks.
He should, but they got washed away. Yes.
Washed
Hey,
away.
you helped me get it there. You helped me get it there. Wow, my grammar goes
It
so
was
bad
washed
when I try to
away.
talk like people back home.
Oh,
All right,
man.
all right.
Now, anybody, Brendan's personal life.
BPL.
Like, why was
reading
Jim naked in the
section.
crick without his washed clothes? Pyroprancer.
Prancer.
Hey, I don't think you've joined yet. If you want to enter for a chance to win.
Oh, a Reddit post about our Twitch channel.
Ooh, great. Was it
I
ours or
doubt
was it
it.
someone else's? We appreciate. I think a couple of you guys posted one about us the other day. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys.
Oh, ooh.
Do you like barbecue sauce? So I'm from St. Louis, and we're very sauce heavy on our barbecue there, where like Texas is very dry rub.
You saucy
So yes, I am. I do like barbecue sauce, but it depends, right? So like South Carolina, the Carolinas are more like vinegar-based barbecue sauces, and I'm like, they're okay. But in St. Louis, they're more like mayo-based, so they're a little thicker. They're not as runny. I like those better. Hey, you know that all those times you guys ask about BPL questions?
Yeah.
I'm finally answering those.
Yeah, we regret it.
Don't join, you're lowering our chances. Mayo-based. Heretic.
That's good.
Mayo
Yep.
based.
There's a reason I'm heavy set, ladies and gentlemen. And it's because of really just the milk and cookies.
We
that I grew
call
up on.
him the Lord of the Trap because it's traps.
Trap Lord.
I can't even
Trap
shrug
Lord.
to hide them.
Lord of the Traps.
What is your SAT score? It should say mate, but you're doing mine.
Well, you can't answer if it's not mate.
Yeah, it's not mate.
Mine. That's so funny.
What is your SAT score? I did not take the SAT in high school. Ba-bum.
Hey.
Sorry, guys. I took the ACT twice.
Once, twice, 3 times.
I should have studied
lady.
for it. I should have practiced.
You didn't know.
Don't do
dude.
what I didn't. Don't do what I did. Do what I didn't
Don't
do.
not do what he didn't
and
do.
study for the tests.
Yes. Anything
All
that Brendan
right.
does, do the opposite.
Don't not hesitate to not do what he didn't hesitate to not do.
If he's exhaling, inhale. If he's inhaling, exhale.
What is your ACT? What is our act? Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime guy.
Oh!
That's
our
all I
act.
got.
Yep. They call us
Oh,
the Three
gosh.
Boys.
Is that not good?
No,
I
I,
thought
like
that
that
was
one.
good.
I like that one.
Yes.
All right. But you still got into Stanford? Yes.
Brendan, do that thing whenever people say that. You say, I'm better than you.
That's not
Right?
true
You
at
always
all.
say that.
You got into Stanford. What do you mean you didn't study?
Yeah, Brendan.
I didn't study for the tests. I also was an athlete. If that makes you feel better, you can try to like throw me on the ground and be like, oh, he was just an athlete.
You
So,
won't
yeah.
be able to, though, because
Trap
he's
Lord.
the Lord of the Traps.
Stream Elements /nerdish. Thank you, Amber Muffin.
They're the 3 intellectuals.
Yeah, I got recruited to Stanford. I was able to get in by my academics, but I did not have cool extracurriculars like everybody else did. I just had sports.
Sports ball.
Everybody else had actual cool things. Like, I did a startup. I did a non-for-profit. And I was like, I do sports ball. And they were like, we'll accept that.
Sports disc.
Yeah.
No, it was more like you do sports ball, and you're like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
It wasn't like you showed up and said, I do sports ball.
Can I tell you the most embarrassing thing that
What?
I know about myself now that these guys are going to laugh at me?
What?
I got a phone call from the Stanford track coach, track and field. I threw the discus and hammer and shot put, and he said, "Hey, this is Coach Nino of Stanford." And I said, "Oh, Stanford, that's like an Ivy on the East Coast, right?" And he kind of laughed and said, "Something like that. We're actually on the West Coast. We're in California." And I said, "Oh, well, okay."
It wasn't a deal breaker.
I was from a very small farming community, guys, so I'm not really.
He
Yeah.
still is too.
I still am,
But he doesn't
out
live
here
there.
in the Manhattan.
Mm.
Someone with
What
low
do you
GPA
guys
but
think
high
of-
SAT, is it bad? GPA a better indicator of how someone will do in college? It depends on who you're.
If you go
admissions
low
officer
enough on both your GPA and the test score, you end up pushing through to the
It's
top.
it's a circle. It's a circle.
Yes.
So you just end up
Yeah.
back where you wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that what is your definition of low GPA? Because I've had students tell me that they think a 3.7 out of 4 is a low GPA, and 200 IQ. Anyway,
Between the three of us, we might reach like 150.
Okay. Robot.
so-
yeah.
according to some studies that were put out, schools tend to care most about your honors classes GPA. So your AP GPA is more important than anything else statistically, is what they say. Then comes your college test score, so SAT, ACT, and then I don't actually know where extracurriculars fall in that. I know that the third in line is your actual college essay.
Yeah, and one thing to add to that is your class choice. They want to see that you're choosing the hardest classes that you can, that your school offers. They know what classes your school offers because every admissions agent is very knowledgeable about the area that they're covering.
Yeah, and I think Vinroy hit that nail on the head. That's actually really, really true. Do extracurriculars that you enjoy. For me, that was sports, and then I hated it. But then I knew it would get me into college, so I stuck with it. But do what you enjoy, and ideally, they'll care.
Well,
They'll think it's cool about your passion.
I'm going to push back on that for a quick sec, Brendan. Actually, if you want to end up feeling totally empty inside and just like you're like a mindless achiever, you should try to find things that make you look as good as possible on paper. And if there are things that you do like to do, don't do them. Just work on the things that you think people want you to do. And
Yes,
then-
Robot Dancer.
Yes.
Yes, it does. That is an extracurricular.
We're actually doing a raffle for Brendan's college application. So if you want
No,
that,
I had to
and just
fill it out by
do
hand.
You had the pink slip, right?
Yeah, I had the pink slip. I had to fill it out by hand.
Yeah.
Amber Muffin did ask what you and I did, Levi.
Oh, I was also on the track team. That's sort of how Brendan and I know each other, but I did not get that pink slip. I had to apply. I applied early.
So he was just
Yeah.
a regular smart guy.
And I was a big theater guy. Theater was kind of like my sport because sports ball never really agreed with my tall, lanky body that well. And I also did some other things, a lot of service stuff, freshman mentor program, National Honor Society, a couple other things.
No, Jim, we all went to the same college. We
Yeah,
did not go to
we
the same
met in
high
college.
school.
Yes.
He is from northern New Jersey.
I'll handle this. I am from a suburb of New York.
Oh,
They're
here we
from
go.
a suburb of Chicago.
That is false.
That is
He
false.
is from New Jersey, the armpit of the states. He is from Chicago.
Where is it?
The hot
Armpit,
dog.
Chicago. And I am from southern Illinois, really close to St. Louis.
Yes.
How tall is Brady? You like 6'1", 6'2", 6'2"?
Clash
I-
of Hippie. Chess is a good enough extracurricular. Honestly, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, that is fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
They want to see what we call them like T students, where you have like a wide breadth of the things that you can do, but you go really deep into one particular thing that you're very passionate about.
Could
Oh,
be
I did
depression.
that. I did that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
Huh?
What?
no.
What'd you
That's
say?
so
Could
rough.
be depression.
That you go really into no,
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 that's
no, no,
terrible.
no. So if chess is your thing, then like if you're really, really passionate about chess, then like go all in on it. You know,
Rex matter.
write an essay about that.
think
Like
so.
show them how much it means to you and how much you've explored that. Do Rex matter?
We don't know how much they
Yeah.
matter, not nearly as much as other stuff, because they know that, you know, if you're
If
a
you're
kid who
choosing who it
happens
is.
to have good relationships with the teachers, then great, but it doesn't make you necessarily a better fit for their schools. Now, don't get a teacher who hates you to do it. That would be silly.
Don't do that.
Execration. What can you use the tutoring for if you win?
is ticking.
Tutoring. You can use it for tutoring. How about that?
Yeah,
It's
that's
a-
your only choice, exact.
I
Sorry.
gotta make a phone call soon.
Alright.
Vinroy's question. What was Vinroy's
we are
question?
also-
I
Soda.
answered on here, unless they have another one down there.
Yeah, it depends on the school that you're going for. I mean, listen, you can't change what GPA you have currently. All you can do is try to get your GPA as high as possible in the time that you still have, and try to make sure that everything else
for BPO
as part of your
questions.
applications is as solid as possible. There's a lot of tools online that let you find the average ACT or SAT scores and GPAs of different colleges and who they accept. So take a close look at that. Remember, you're applying to a couple number of schools where some are reach, some are pretty comfortable that you'll get in, and then a couple are safety.
Plaster Hippie, yes, you did. Everybody, feel free to enter one last time. If you want, you can do exclamation point points to see how many you have. Every 20 points can redeem you one ticket. So you can say ticket and then a number, and it'll get you. And then what was this question? Do senior grades matter? Technically,
Levi.
they should. But
Levi's got a story about that.
a friend of yours got like rejected after the.
No. Yeah, senior grades do matter insofar as don't get yourself kicked out of the school, which almost happened to me because I decided to not run
Why did
in
I not
gym.
know this?
I think I may have told you. I didn't run in gym because I didn't feel like it, and I got a D in gym, and I had
Someone call you?
I had a slightly lower grade in one class, and then I got an email from Stanford saying, pick up your grades or we reserve the right to rescind your acceptance.
I did not know
And
that.
I
Ouch.
sweat a lot. It was fine. It was fine. But yeah, don't do that.
Plaster
That was-
Hippie, that seems fine considering I think you're a junior. You've got a whole year before technically you have to have your SAT or ACT scores finalized.
Robot Dancer, they look
I
at
think
both.
you're fine.
They look at both are important
Yeah,
numbers.
yeah, both. So I think you're starting in a pretty good place, Plaster Hippie. All right.
It's getting exciting.
We go ahead and getting this
Oh,
out.
I have
I
to
have it
log
on my
into this
computer over
thing?
here.
Can't.
Why?
It's right there.
Nope.
How do they know your grades?
You have to give it to. Oh, how do they know them? Probably because they're checking in, or the school. Your counselors might have sent something to them. 29 on the ACT and a 27 on my last one before I react. What?
You mean for the school that you're applying
school
to?
you want? I would say be very. If you can't take it, I assume Vinroy, you're probably taking the last one at the end of this month.
Yeah, the October 27th
Yeah.
one.
Oh, in the October. Thank you. I saw a 27th on my last one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, yes, it is Plaster Hippie, but that's fine. That doesn't matter right now. So, Vinroy, I would say figure out what you don't know how to do and then improve on those things. So, that can be asking us questions about that, or that can be doing it on your own. Both are recommended. I wouldn't say just use us. And I mean, if you're just going to do it on your own, you might as well get some help from us. You can't do math. Then keep practicing. The only thing that's going to get you better at math is to continually practice math problems. If you want to get better at reading, you're not going to never read. Amber Muffin, if you can't read, how did you type that?
Ah.
It's quite
Well,
silly.
actually, that's the thing that's happening with kids nowadays is that they can type, but they can't read, or write, or speak, or think. They
Oh,
just-
that makes sense.
Okay, we're going to
Read
do the
more.
giveaway now.
You need to be reading more.
I'm going to close the giveaway, so last chance, everybody.
Yeah. So, last chance for you to enter. That's a lot of tickets.
I feel like Lemonade has still not answered my original, because Lemonade, you won the other thing, and now you gotta come on. Okay. Also, make sure that if you're entered in this, you should join the Discord so we can talk to you there. Text to voice. There you go, Amber. That's funny. Okay, we're gonna close the giveaway.
They got me. She got me on that one.
We're
Shoot.
going to draw one winner, right?
Just one.
One winner.
Juan.
Voice
And
to text. Yeah, there
the
you go.
winner is Robot
Robot
Dancer.
Dancer.
With a 2% chance.
Woo.
Very exciting.
Where you are. There
Told
go.
you. Robot did say I'm winning, called it. Wow. That was impressive.
Oh man, Van Roy rigged. Everyone's so happy for Robot Dancer. Thanks,
Except
guys.
Vinroy.
Except for Van
No,
Roy.
Plaster Hippie's not.
We're gonna close this
That's funny.
giveaway, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then let's go ahead and open up the one for tomorrow.
Or mark it as complete.
Mark is complete. Mark is complete. And then it'll send you back. So give giveaways.
All right, everybody. Yeah, you got it.
All right. So the college essay one is now open.
College
again.
Essay 1 we're reopening, so if you want to still enter yourself into that, we can do that.
I don't know
Sorry,
why
exec.
This isn't working.
And let's see. So,
Hold on.
Robot Dancer, we're going to talk to you in the chat. Is Robot Dancer in in the Discord?
No. All right, there you go. This one is open again.
I don't know to tutor about Robot Dancer. We'll talk to you about it. We're gonna give you a couple
Yeah.
sections or to do, and then we'll have things to go over with you.
We'll
Don't
figure
worry.
it out.
So now we have our regular giveaway back up, and this is for essay revisions with Levi. We will be drawing that tomorrow night. So you can go
Yes.
ahead and enter any tickets you enter now will be put towards College App essay revisions.
Okay. Have a good night, everybody. Please come back tomorrow prepared with questions that you've figured out that you need help with, and
Way to go.
figure out those question types that are tough for you, that type of thing. That way we can help you better.
What's your question?
Oh,
then,
is
Ryan?
it? It's probably on the Discord. Anyway, we will.
Vinrad, we can get to it tomorrow. It'll be fine.
How important is demonstrated interest in talking to the reps of your top schools? Did you do it?
Mildly
No.
important?
I didn't. You?
It depends on the school. Some schools
Yeah, some
definitely,
schools like it a lot
some
more.
schools prefer that you demonstrate more interest. It depends on the school.
And don't do it just for that reason.
They'll be clear. They'll be very clear. They'll say, if they want you to do that, they'll say, we would like you to want to come to our school. And
I would say check out Exec, what they just said. Applying to college. We should be posting in there too. All right. Thanks for the tip there, Exec. All right. We will see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Congrats, Robot Dancer. We'll be reaching out to you soon. See you later.
Yep.